Hi, my name is Lexi. I'll be taking you through an inner thigh and abdominal focus workout inspired by Pilates based movements today. So, equipment you will need is a ball and some weights. You can also go without equipment if you don't have either of these items, then you can do a pillow that you can kind of fold in half to use for ab work. Or without weights. So you can choose weights that range from honestly 3 pounds, and I have up to 12. So go ahead and just use what you have. If you're more advanced with strength and Pilates type of exercises, then you can move up in weights and use heavier. If you're just beginning, I would suggest lighter while you're working on that connection and establishing the movement patterns. So let's start with a quick warm up, laying on our backs. So you'll lay all the way down and just rock your knees side to side, massaging out the lower back, the lower spine here, the sacral area where we hold a lot of stress. And then pull your knees in towards your chest. Lengthen your legs long to the ceiling and then bend your knees. So you'll just bend and extend, just passively here, getting some movement through the knee joint. And then hold your legs long. Just find some circles in your ankles. And then circle the opposite way. Just getting some movement through the ankles and the feet. And then bring hands behind your thighs. You're going to open your legs out wide passively using your arms to open the legs and then pull them back together. So you'll inhale through the nose as you open, exhale just through the nose for now as you close your legs. So using your arms here. Good. And then let's find some circles through the hip joints. So you'll pull your knees in towards you, bring them away, and then circle them around and back towards your chest. And then let's go the opposite direction. So you'll come out, down, and then back in towards the chest. So just trying to create fluid circles here through the hip joint, finding some mobility here, trying to smooth out this movement. Good. All right, now bring your legs to tabletop. Imprint your low back to the mat unless you have lower back pain, then come to a neutral spine where there's a little bit of space between your back and the mat. Legs in reverse tabletop, knees stacked over your hip, feet in line with your knees. You're going to inhale, open the legs out wide, expand the rib cage. Exhale, zip up through the abs. So you're pulling your six-pack abs inward towards one another. You're cinching in your side abs. And then if you find these hip points in the front of your pelvis here, you're thinking about pulling them together, activating your deep, low transverse abdominals. So you're wrapping in the low abs, that muscle between the hip points. You're zipping up the six-pack abs, and you're cinching in the side abs. So you'll inhale, open, exhale out the mouth through pursed lips. Find that audible exhale. That's going to help you deepen your activation through the abs. It's going to naturally increase intra-abdominal pressure, and it's going to naturally engage those deep stabilizing muscles, those low deep abs. Let's go 2 more, starting to wake up through the inner thighs as well. Last one. Good, give your knees a hug. Just gently rock side to side. And then legs come back to tabletop. You're gonna lengthen your legs to the ceiling, open the legs out wide, come back to center and bend. So you're inhaling as you lengthen, exhale, come out to the side, come back to center and bend. So inhale, lengthen and open, exhale as you come to center and bend. Good, so again, we're just kind of waking up those inner thighs, and we're feeling a lot of ab work here. Abs are working to stabilize our spine and our pelvis, keeping the low back glued, keeping that pelvis nice and still, preventing any rocking. If you need to modify this, if you're getting low back discomfort, you don't quite have this stability yet in the abs, just stick to bending, keeping the knees bent, opening and closing. Let's go 2 more. Last one, squeeze. And then you're gonna hold your legs out wide and find little pulses inward. So now we're really tapping into those low abs. I like to curl up here, bringing hands behind my head, elbows out wide. Option to stay rested. So we're pulling the belly button in. Make sure there's no tenting or doming. Make sure there's no popping of the rib cage, and you're squeezing your inner thighs. So we're starting to wake up a little bit more through the inner thighs. We'll go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, take a rest. Let's either hug your knees and rock side to side, or you can windshield wiper those legs side to side with the feet planted. Take a moment to reset. Good, all right. Let's come up to a seat. We're gonna come into some inner thigh work now. So grab your ball if you have it. If not, you can roll up that pillow. We're gonna lay onto, let's start on our right side because that inner thigh is a little bit easier to activate. So we're gonna lay onto our right side. Bring that left leg to rest on top of the ball. The left foot is completely relaxed. The left leg is completely relaxed. The ball's under the inside of my left knee. Right leg, I want you to lengthen your leg as long as you can. Point your toes towards the top corner of your mat. Nice and long through your side body. You're gonna lift and lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. So with this is traditional Pilates inspired move here. We're targeting the inner right thigh. So we're holding that leg long. You really want to squeeze the muscle that runs down the inside of your leg to lift the foot and the leg up off of the mat. Now, I don't want you like crunching through your side body to get that leg up. Try to relax in the left leg. Try to relax through the back and the abs. Just holding a neutral spine as you lift that right leg up. Squeezing through the inner thigh. So this is your hip adductor muscle. It helps to support and create stability in your pelvis. So really an important muscle to target, a core muscle. So our core muscles are more than just our abs, right? We also have our back extensors, our inner thigh, which we're targeting now, our outer glutes, our mid back. So all of these muscles are considered your core muscles, not just your abs. So we want to strengthen in all of those core muscle groups to create that strong base for functional movement, or that strong foundation when doing strength exercises, and more of those accessory muscles, the triceps, biceps, quads, all that. We want to make sure we're strong in these core muscle groups to protect ourselves and get more out of our strength exercises. We're going to do one more. Hold here. Find pulses up. Little squeezes through the inner thigh. Should feel quite uncomfortable. If this is your first time working the inner thighs, maybe you're not quite feeling it so intensely yet. Give yourself some love and patience. Understand it's going to take time to tap into these muscles correctly. And then let's find little circles. So just try your best to apply those cues to connect mind to muscle. So we're squeezing that inner right thigh. You're finding tiny circles with your heel. Circle the opposite way. Little circles. 4, 3, 2, pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lay on your back, ball or pillow between your thighs. You're going to scoop that tailbone under. Lift your hips just about 2 inches up off of the ground. Squeeze in on that ball, mainly with that right leg. So try to come out of the glutes here and into your inner thighs. So we'll exhale, squeeze. Exhale, squeeze. So you're pressing that right leg into the ball. you're lighting up that right inner thigh here. Exhaling out the mouth, bringing your focus to the inner thigh, nowhere else. Big squeeze. Good. Let's go for 8, 7, 6. Big squeeze on that ball, 5. Feeling that discomfort in the right inner thigh. And just try your best to target that muscle. Focus, I like to close my eyes and envision that right inner thigh squeezing here. Last one, hold tight on that ball. And then you're going to just find little pulses up and down in your hips. Again, trying not to really work through the glute here, but rather just really squeezing that inner thigh on the right side specifically. You have 8, 7, big squeeze, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips down. Continue to hold tension on that ball. Press your low back to the mat. I'm going to choose to curl up here. You can stay rested if you would like. You're going to pull that belly button in so it doesn't dome up. Make sure the rib cage isn't flaring or popping. Squeeze your abs to float the legs into tabletop. Exhale. Inhale, squeeze on that ball, and then exhale, tap back down. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those abs. Squeeze on that ball, and then tap back down. If it's too challenging to keep the abs engaged to lift and lower your legs, then just keep your legs up like we did in the beginning and squeeze in on that ball. And actually we didn't get to that yet, but we will here. So what I'm saying is if dropping the heels is too much, just hold this exercise where you're just squeezing and releasing on the ball, and we're gonna meet you there. Those of you who can keep that effort in the abs and in the inner thighs with this, then we'll tap the feet. Exhale, lift. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lower back down. So pull that belly button in with the exhale. Make sure there's no doming. We're gonna do one more. And then let's squeeze and release on the ball. 8, 7, 6. You're gonna feel those low abs working really hard here. 5, 4. Pull that belly button in with each exhale. You're wrapping in those low abs. Last one. Good. All right, take a quick release. And then let's get the other side, the left inner thigh. So we're gonna lay on our left side here. Right leg just rests onto the ball. Left leg lengthens long. So really reach through the heel, lengthen that leg. You relax through your abs and your right leg. You're gonna squeeze through that left inner thigh to lift the leg up. Sometimes this left inner thigh can be hard to tap into. So if you're not quite feeling it, you can tap out that muscle. So that kind of wakes up the receptors, and that muscle tells them it's time to wake up, it's time to work. And then try again, closing your eyes, really focusing on that muscle, squeezing and activating to lift. Good. Exhale, squeeze. Big squeeze through that left inner thigh. Exhale, squeeze. So starting to feel that left side on the inside of the leg fatigue, targeting that hip abductor, again, that important core muscle for pelvic stability. Also strengthening through this inner thigh can help you activate through the low abs and the pelvic floor better, can help you have better awareness in those muscle groups as well. So definitely don't want to overlook the inner thigh muscles. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5 more, big squeeze, 4, 3, 2, 2. Last one, hold at the top, little pulses up, little squeezes. 8, 7, 6, should feel really uncomfortable. 5, 4, just know that discomfort is when we're building our strength. Last one, little circles. So this is a great exercise to do body weight with because our lever is so long, our leg is straight. Our muscle has to work harder, and we don't necessarily have to add weight to make this effective in building muscle and building strength. And then circle the opposite way here. And we want to get to that point of feeling like we can't go much longer. That's the point where we're going to get that hypertrophy in the muscle. 2 more small circles. Last one, little pulses up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, lay on your back. We're gonna find those squeezes in on the ball or your pillow. Tuck the tailbone under, lift the hips just about 2 inches up off the mat. Big squeeze on the ball with the left side. Try to relax those glutes. We're mainly working the inner thigh here, especially that left side. And I know it's challenging to turn off one muscle and activate another. With practice, you'll get better with that. So just try your best here. For me, I just moved my left foot in a little bit more, and now I'm feeling a lot more work in my inner thigh. So try readjusting your positioning. There's a couple things you can do here to help get the work into the right place. So maybe changing the positioning a little bit, changing up your form, listening to the cues, closing your eyes, focusing. Exhale, squeeze. Big squeeze. We're gonna go for 8. That inner thigh is really burning. 6, really squeezing mostly on the left side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Find little pulses up and down through the hips, but really focus more of your effort on squeezing the ball. Really big squeeze on the ball. That inner thigh is burning up on the left side. We'll go for 6. Big squeeze on that ball. Try to squeeze it as hard as you can. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower the hips. We're going to lift our legs in the tabletop this time, starting with those ball squeezes. So kind of reversing what we did last time. So I like to curl up here. You can stay rested. Do what feels good in your body. Find the position where you can find the most work in the abs and the inner thighs. Pull the belly button in, exhale. So feel, with that exhale, feel how those hip points are pulling in towards each other, wrapping in the low abs. Let's go for 8. 7, low back stays glued to the mat. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the squeeze on that ball. You're going to lower and lift. You don't have to tap all the way down. I don't like to go all the way down when starting in this position. I just feel a little more work in my abs. And this time we're going to simplify it a little bit. You're going to inhale, lower, exhale, lift, and squeeze that ball. Again, if you can't prevent that tenting of the abs, if you're feeling any sort of compensation in the back, then I would recommend just holding tabletop and squeezing. That's a good modification to take, and you're still going to get the benefit. Let's go for 4. Abs burning. 3. Exhale out the mouth. Last one. Good. Rock your knees side to side. All right, let's come up to a seat. Ball or pillow folded up, or you just have this mini ab ball behind your lower back. Legs are going to be in a butterfly position. You don't have to let the legs fall out super far. You're going to lean back on your ball. Inhale, and then exhale, squeeze through the abs to lift. So as you're lifting up, you're pressing that low back deeper into the ball. So you're thinking about pressing that low rib and the lower vertebrae into the ball. You're thinking about pulling your hip points towards your low ribs. You're shortening that space between your ribs and your pelvis. Again, you want to think about actively pulling that belly button in, making sure it doesn't tent to the ceiling with your exhale. You can have hands behind your head if you're newer to this, or you're newer to ab strength work in general. Hands behind the thighs could work, or maybe you just hold it, practicing that diaphragmatic breath. So again, find what works for you, where you feel the most work through the abs. We're gonna go for 3 more. 2, use that exhale, that pursed lip exhale. Last one, hold at the top, little pulses. Make sure you're not bouncing on the ball. Make sure you're using the abs, you're pressing that low back deeper into the ball as you lift, zipping up through the abs. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. You're gonna squeeze through your inner thighs, pull the legs together and open. And then you're also feeling that wrapping of the low abs. So you're gonna exhale, inhale. Let's go for 4, 3. I'm shaking you maybe as well. Last one. Good, hold the legs together this time, little pulses up. 6, pull the belly button in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. I like to just find a little butterfly to release, hands behind you. Open the chest, inhale. Exhale, come to standing position. Grab your weights if you have them. I'm going a little heavier today just because I've done this many times. If this is something that you have experience with, you can grab heavier weights. If this is your first time, maybe go without weights, or 3s or maybe 5s. Toes turned out. We're in a wide-legged stance. And then your weight should be in the outside of your feet and your heels. Weights just kind of hang out in front of you. You can hold them like this. You can hold them like this, whatever you prefer. You're going to squeeze through the inner thighs. Think about at the bottom of the squat, pulling your heels together. Again, weights on the outside of your feet and your heels. Knees are pressing back towards the wall behind you. And then squeeze through those inner thighs to lift back up. So you'll lower and lift. And again, if you're not used to targeting specific muscle groups, creating that strong neuromuscular connection, mind to body connection, you might be feeling this in a couple different places. But I want you to focus on feeling it only in the inner thighs. So I like to close my eyes and just really focus on these muscles here. We're gonna go 2 more full range. Really think about pulling your heels together. Last one. Good, and then hold it low. Little pulses. Focus on those inner thighs. Press those knees back behind you. Inner thighs burning up here. Good. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lift the heels. Same thing, just pulses. Squeeze those inner thighs. Think about pulling the 2 sides of your mat together towards center. 6, 5, squeeze those inner thighs. 4, bring your focus there. 3, 2, and 1. Good, all right. Come up to stand. We're gonna come back to a side lying position. I'm gonna do a different variation of those inner thigh lifts. You can go to the original variation. If this one just is too complicated, it's not working with you, you can come back to that full laying position with the leg on the ball. Otherwise, this works for you, join along. Weight on the inside of your left leg. Eight's a little heavy for that. I'm gonna do 5. You don't have to do weight. I recommend without at first to make sure you're feeling it correctly. You're kind of rolled onto that left hip, and then your left forearm is down. You're squeezing through your left inner thigh to lift that leg up. Toe is pointed towards the top corner of your mat. You can always place a pillow under your hip for comfort, and sometimes that can help you connect a little better as well. You don't want to open too far here. Make sure you find the positioning in your body where you feel the most work in that inner thigh. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Again, if that weight is throwing you off, go without it. Actually, I'm feeling a little more activation now without my weight. Once I feel that satisfaction of that muscle working, then I'll add that weight in again. Keep that left leg straight. Right foot is just planted behind your left leg. Knee is lifted to the ceiling. Make sure you're not sinking into your left shoulder. Press away from the mat. Again, if it's too much to think about in this position, lay all the way down. Come back to that first position we found with our side lying leg lifts. You have 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold at the top, little pulses. Really squeeze through the inner thigh, straighten that leg all the way. That helps. Try to get that leg as straight as possible for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Other side, straight into our other side. Right leg is long, right forearm down, left foot planted behind you. Again, find that complete side lying variation if this is not working for you. Otherwise, follow along with me. Toes point towards the top corner of your mat. You're kind of rolled onto that right hip. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Keep that leg straight. Try not to use your abs to lift here. This position is a little more technical, so try it. If it's not for you, go back to that side lying position. I'm going to go without my weight to make sure I'm getting into that muscle a little bit better. Okay, so I'm actually feeling it again. That weight's a little distracting for me at first, so if you're feeling the same way, sometimes an exercise is actually more efficient and works better without weight, and that's fine. You'll actually activate the muscle more effectively. Okay, now I'm feeling that muscle work, so now I'll add my weight in now that I've tapped in correctly. So again, all strength training just comes down to listening to your body and paying attention and feeling the muscles work. Let's go for 6, 5, big squeeze, 4, big squeeze through that inner thigh, 3, 2, it's not about how high that leg lifts, make sure you keep your pelvis stable. Last one, hold at the top, little pulses. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Straighten that leg, last one. Good, come back to standing for those wide-legged squats. I'm gonna actually start again without weight because I feel those weights might be distracting at first. Toes turned out, weight in the outside of your feet. Press those knees back towards the wall behind you. Work through the inner thighs. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. As you lift, think about pulling those heels together, scrunching up your mat. Okay, now that I'm feeling some good activation, I'll add my weights. Squeeze through those inner thighs. Keep the work in the inner thighs. You have 3, 2, last one, hold it low, pulse up 2 inches, down 2 inches. Squeeze, 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 inner thighs. Equal weight in both legs. Good. Heart rate's getting up there again. Inner thigh is a big muscle. This is a big movement. Lungs and heart have to work to get blood flow to that muscle. 2 more. Last one, hold low. Lift the heels, this time lower. Lift and lower. If that doesn't feel good, keep your heels down. That's fine. 3, 2, hold heels up, little pulses. Squeeze those inner thighs, really focus on the inner thighs. 5, 4, squeeze the inner thighs. 3, 2, hold it low, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those inner thighs, light them up. Good, lower the heels, come to stand. All right, last exercise here. We're gonna finish off with some abs. Bring the ball behind your lower back or the pillow behind your lower back. Soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Lean back on your ball. Hands can be behind the thighs or come forward. Exhale, squeeze the low abs to lift. If you're just beginning with this, hands behind the thighs is a good option. Focus on pulling the belly button in. Hip points come towards rib cage comes down towards the hip points. Decreasing the space between your ribs and hips. Wrapping in those low abs. Now as you lift, bring legs together and then come back down. Now make sure you're never coming up off of the ball. You always want to press your lower back deeper into the ball as you lift. Don't be afraid to readjust that ball. Some people prefer it higher up the spine. Play with it again. Take that variation, that positioning where you feel the most work in those abs. Inhale, exhale out the mouth. Let's go for 4. Pull in those abs. 3, 2. Last one, hold. Find pulses up. Belly button pulls in. Press that back deeper into the ball. I like to scoop my tailbone a little bit as I come up as well. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. You're gonna bring legs together and apart. As you exhale, draw the belly button in, wrap in the abs. This might take practice. It's okay if you don't get this right away. It's taken me a long time to learn how to activate my abs. I'm still working on it. We're gonna go 2 more. Last one, hold legs together, little pulses up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, squeeze for 2, and 1. Good. Lay on your back. One more round of ball squeezes, legs and tabletop squeeze and release. Exhale, squeeze, zip up the abs. If you're done, if you're feeling any low back discomfort, your abs are just too tired to keep going, then stop. That's fine. Wrap in the abs. You can rest your head if you need to. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. Last one, big squeeze, and rest all the way down. Take a big exhale, let go of all that effort. Rock your knees side to side. Lift up your hips, place your ball or your pillow under your sacrum. So not the small of your back, not the low back, but below that, the sacrum, just above your tailbone. And gently just rock side to side, releasing any tension there, any tight muscles, or maybe you're just holding stillness. Finding that inhale through the nose, big exhale, let it go. Good, let's find one more breath. Lift your hips, remove the ball, reach your arms and legs long, take full body stretch. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, one final exhale to calm the nervous system and prepare your body for rest and recovery. Good. All right, that's where we'll end. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe, follow along for other workouts, and I will see you soon. Thank you.